NFL update video in this one. And it has been a while since our last episode, but I wanted to make sure we got one in this week since fantasy football playoffs are starting up. So pretty big week. We'll take a look at how my team has done over the past few weeks. And after we do that, we'll take a look at some of the NFL scores and some NFL news across the league. But while we do that, I've got some pretty massive tacos I'm going to be working on today. I am absolutely starving. I started training for a half marathon, so I've been eating like quite a bit lately. Really wears you out, but it's been good. Some good stuff right there, man. So we've got like just sliced up chicken breast. We got some rice medley, refried beans, some cheese, and Taco Bell fire sauce this time. It's very tasty. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at what am I doing here? Matchup. Here we go. Week 14. So this ended up being a very important game. Because me and Adil, we are in the same division, so we are competing here to determine who would get the bye heading into fantasy football playoffs. I was 9-4 coming into this one. He was 10-3, and we ended up snagging a very close win. Well, it ended up being 9 points, but it came down to the Monday night game with HN. But we got Russell Wilson, who has actually been a good pickup for me. So he drops 15 for us. Brees Hall with 22. Swift with 3.9. We had some like really bad performances in here in the middle with Swift, Diggs, and Mike Evans. So those are some of our best players. So hopefully that doesn't happen to us in playoffs, but probably will. We got Kyle Pitts with 14. I think that might have been his first touchdown of the season. HN with 9.6, DK with 12.2. And then this was a great pickup. I picked him up off of waivers after last week because I knew the Cowboys were going to be playing the Eagles. I thought we were going to give up a bit more points than we did. The Cowboys defense did end up with 14, but if I had not used the Saints, I would have lost. So, shout out. But yeah, really close matchup here. That Josh Jacobs at 6 points was a big 0. It's a green can, so that's why you can't see it. Alright, so first up we got the Patriots with a very rare win over the Steelers, 21-18 on the road too. Now, they were playing against Trubisky, but I will say their offense did look a lot better. Bailey Zappi had a solid game. Zeke Elliott is actually starting to get quite a bit of carries, so maybe that's sort of the recipe for success for the Patriots, but they might have to tuck that away and remember it for next season at this point. But kind of a big loss for the Steelers, who are very much still in the playoff hunt, so we'll see how things shake out down the stretch. Next up, we got the Sunday night game. My Dallas Cowboys playing the Eagles at home. And honestly, loved it. I loved every second of it. The Cowboys, I mean, we just dominated the Eagles. We really did. Absolutely dominated them. And the thing is, we won by 20, but they had a defensive touchdown, so you take that away. And, you know, it would have been 33 to 6. Which is crazy. Like, because we didn't have our best game, like, at all. You know, there were a lot of things that I thought we could have done better. There were some throws that Dak missed that he almost always makes. But, you know, overall, like, to have, you know, some mistakes here and there and still be able to win against a team like the Eagles by 20 is, I think it's a great sign. So, yeah, I'm just, you know, I try not to get my hopes up as a Cowboys fan, but they're up, man. The Cowboys, we look good. Dak looks really good, and then with this big win over the Eagles, I mean, it's great, but I think if we see them in the playoffs, they'll have a much different game plan. I'm surprised they didn't run the ball very much with Swift, but yeah, if it comes down to us against them in the playoffs, it's going to be another intense game. But I'm excited. I'm confident in our team, so we'll see how things play out. We still gotta wait and see where the Niners end up, but I mean, they're looking like the best team in football right now. Okay. Next up, we got the Buccaneers with a 4-point win over the Falcons. Desmond Ridder actually had himself a game, 347 yards and a touchdown. the standings. It's a lot easier. Yeah, so Buccaneers with a big win there over the Falcons. So Buccaneers are in first place in their division now. The Panthers have officially been eliminated. That sucks, dude. I don't even know, like, who are they gonna draft next year? I feel bad for whoever it is. They, like, desperately need an offensive line. But I feel like they're gonna go with Marvin Harrison Jr. or something. Who knows? But the fact that they could have drafted C.J. Stroud is still wild to me. That's crazy. Okay, next up we got the Bears with a big win over the Lions, 28-13. Let's see if the Bears have any chance of making the playoffs. Probably not. Very slim, but I mean, they would definitely have to win out. Yeah, because I mean they're 5-8. It's very, very unlikely, but because I mean you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean 4, 5, 6, 7 teams ahead of them record-wise in the conference. So gonna be tough to inch into a wild card slot, but you never know. Crazy things do happen in the NFL, and this was a big win for the Bears. They've looked good with Justin Fields this year, I will say. It's just those weeks that he was out really hurt them. Next up, we got the Bengals with a big win over the Colts. 34-14, 275 and 2 touchdowns for Jake Browning. Dude has been a beast. I remember him from when he played at Washington. I can't remember if it was his first or his second year, but he played really well. And I thought he was gonna like take off and be like a really good player, but then he had 2 pretty rough years after that. So it's good to see him actually get a chance here with the Bengals, albeit under, tough circumstances, but still, to have a backup come in and be able to play like he has is a really good thing for well, any team, but especially like a playoff team. Next, we got the Browns with the win over the Jaguars. I was surprised Trevor Lawrence was actually playing in this game. After last week's little ankle injury, it looked worse, I thought, than it actually was. He got rolled up on kind of weird, and he's so lanky. He's got like giraffe legs, so you never know like how those could go, but he was out there for this one. Unfortunately, they take the loss. Joe Flacco, man, he has looked good. Like, Saints offense they just haven't really clicked this year for whatever reason. So we'll see how they do down the stretch. Next up, we got the Jets with a surprising win over the Texans, scoring 30 points in the second half, which is insane. But man, Zach was like really slinging it. He played really well. Especially considering it was literally raining the entire game. It looked miserable. But Zach played great, and CJ Stroud, really for the first time in his career, he really looked like a rookie. He just kind of struggled in this one. But, you know, they also lost one of their receivers last week, and then you have Nico Collins go down this week. So Tank Dell done for the year. Nico Collins hopefully back next week, but doesn't leave you with a ton of targets on the offensive side of the ball. So nevertheless, a big win by the Jets, and probably the best they've looked so far this year. And we'll see what happens, but they're still on the outside looking in, but you never know. Next up, we got the Ravens with a 37-31 win over the Rams in overtime. Ravens won it on a walk-off punt return for a touchdown in OT, which was pretty awesome. It reminded me of that one, the Jets walk-off touchdown with Xavier Gibson punt return. It was awesome. So really cool to see Lamar. Another great game. 316, 3 touchdowns. Playing very, very well despite not having Mark Andrews. So big win for them, and an even bigger loss for the Rams, who are now on the outside looking in. Where are they? There you are. 6 and 7. So I guess not on the outside looking in, but they're definitely on the edge. That would have been a big, big win for them. Next up, we got the Vikings over the Raiders, 3-0 in what's gotta be the worst game I've ever watched in my life. And on top of that, Justin Jefferson went down in the first quarter for who knows how long, but first game back, then he gets hurt. Josh Dobbs looks terrible. Just the offense looks inept, not on the same page. They just look bad. And after saying all that, they still won the game 3-0. So I don't know what that says about the Raiders, but man, things are not looking good. Aiden O'Connell is, he's just a below average quarterback, so it'll be interesting to see what the Raiders do going forward, but I think it's pretty clear that O'Connell is probably not the answer to any of their problems. Next up, we got the 49ers 28-16 over the Seahawks. controversial call against the Chiefs. Like, how often have you said that there's a controversial call against the Chiefs? Basically never. Feels like it's always the other way around. I don't even know how it's controversial. I mean, Kadarius Toney was clearly lined up offsides. So, I don't know. And then to see Mahomes and Andy Reid complaining about it after the game as if that was the only thing that went wrong, that caused them to lose, was just kind of ridiculous. They still had the ball after that play. Mahomes still threw 3 incompletions after that play, and they turned the ball over. Also, what about the one interception from Mahomes? And, probably plenty of other plays that they could have just done better to blame. That one flag that was correctly thrown, in my opinion, as the sole reason why they lost. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen, honestly. And then to see him go complain about it to Josh Allen after the game, like, bro, just shake his hand, say good game, and move on. And then if you want to complain about it after, go for it. But, like, dang, the Bills got screwed a couple years ago by a coin toss against the Chiefs. So, and Josh Allen didn't really, he didn't do that, I don't know, it was just really annoying to see. It really got under my skin, the way Mahomes handled that. I don't know, it just irked me, if you can't tell. But anyway, Bills get the win, 2017. Next up, we got the Broncos at the Chargers, and the Broncos with another big win, 24-7. Broncos are looking good now, man. They have just done a complete 180 this season, so good for them. Russ has been playing well. And I don't know what happened to the Chargers, man. I really don't. They have, essentially the same team from a couple years ago, even added Khalil Mack. And I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe it's not having Mike Williams definitely has an impact, but gosh, they just have not looked great this year for whatever reason, and I'm not sure what that is. But and then this game, obviously Justin Herbert goes down, so yeah, things are not looking good in LA. Next up, we got the Titans with a crazy comeback win over the Dolphins. Really, really impressive stuff from Will Levis and that Titans offense. After, some massive mistakes at the end of the game, they charge down, they score 2 touchdowns in the span of like 2 minutes to steal this game. They even went for 2 on one of them, which I was shocked, but, aggressive play works out for them, and they get the 1-point win. So let's see where the Titans are at. If they have any chance, probably not. But you never know. If they win out, there's always a chance. They could end up 9-8 and definitely sneak their way in. And then last but not least, the Packers at the Giants. The Giants with the win, the clutch performance from Tommy DeVito, driving down the field and getting the game-winning field goal for the Giants. And actually kind of a big loss 14, I think. I think it's 14. Week 14, wrapped up. Whatever. But yeah, so we'll be back next. Maybe not next week. I don't know, because I'm not gonna have like a fantasy matchup to show you guys. So maybe 2 weeks. But anyway, let me know down below how y'all's teams are doing, if you're in the playoffs, or maybe you took a fat L. Would love to hear about it, but that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, hope it was relaxing. And if you did like it, make sure